He told me throw it back about.
Hello party people, back at it again with another video of recreating the beat. This is a look that I did not too long ago, last year. So I added a little sparkle to it. It was my failed attempt, I think, at a cut crease. I think I did pretty good this time around. I think I took my time more than I did with this look than I did the last time. So stick around, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. First, I'm starting with my e.l.f. Blemish Control Face Primer, and I'm just, of course, putting that all over my face. And next, I'm taking my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Black. And this is how I do my makeup all the time. This is the exact order that I go in. Next, I'm taking Tint Brow Gel in the color Clear, and I'm just kind of setting that on my eyebrows just so everything stays in place. I'm not sure where you can purchase tint. I actually got it from Ipsy. Next, I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's the orange color corrector, and I'm just applying that on my hyperpigmentation areas. Now I'm just applying my eyeshadow primer called Stuck on You from the Beauty Crop, and I'm just applying this all over my eyelid. I'm going in again with LA Girl Pro Concealer, this time in the color Fawn, just to clean up my eyebrows. I kind of messed up here because I typically clean up the eyebrows before I put on the primer, but yes, this is still pretty much the order in which I do my makeup. Now I'm going in with Sacha Buttercup setting powder because yo girl be a little bit too oily for my liking. So I'm just going in on my T-zones, just packing it in there to make sure I soak up everything. That way my makeup lasts all day. And especially if you use a lot of oil-based products, this does help soak up all the oil. I know if you have oily skin, you should probably refrain from using oil-based products, but it's not really something that you can help. When I saw this trick both on TikTok and YouTube, I thought, why not give it a shot? What do I have to lose? And on top of that, I do use setting powder after I've placed my foundation on my face. And also in addition, I use the Urban Decay Oil Control and the All-Nighter Spray. In this video, you won't see me use the setting spray or the oil control, just because I only use that when I'm actually going out. And after this video, I wasn't going anywhere. I was just shooting some looks. Next, I'm going in with my James Charles palette. I'm starting with the color Punch Me. I like to start with a color that's close to my skin tone as a base, and then I like to build on top of that after. Now I'm taking my fluffy brush to cover my eyelids with the color Punch Me. And now I'm just packing in the color as opposed to sweeping it in. I'm just trying to make sure that I cover all of my eyelid and there's no white spots left. For majority of this look, I'm using the James Charles palette, and now I'm taking the color 10% off. And I'm taking another fluffy brush. I believe this is a crease brush from Morphe, and I'm applying the color 10% off in my crease here. Now, as I mentioned before in other videos, I am not a trained professional. I do this solely for fun, so forgive me if I'm using the wrong brush. Not only am I using this as a transition shade, I'm also using it as a way to know where I want the colors to meet. Because I have hooded eyes, it's a little bit harder to do a cut crease. So I find using a color that is also a transition shade and also will help you know where your colors will meet. Now I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette, volume number 2. And I'm just going to take the shade E4. They don't actually have color names, just numbers and letters. And now with the E4, I'm starting in my outer corner, just packing it in, just a little bit above where I put 10% off. And I'm still packing it in, bringing it into my inner eye, being careful not to make like a harsh line. And just a little bit under where I've applied the E4, you can still see 10% coming through. That's the line where I want the colors to meet. And if there's anything that I've learned about doing cut creases is patience and blending. Take your time because it's very easy to mess up this kind of look. Going back in with the James Charles palette, this time I'm using No Beans. It's a slightly darker color than 10% off. Now I'm just taking No Beans and placing it on top of 10% just to kind of deepen it up. I didn't realize that my Ghetto Fab mirror was in the way, so I took No Beans to my inner corner and I'm just dragging and blending it out at the same time. Here's where you actually get to see what I've done with No Beans. So now I'm taking E4, and this is a trick I kind of just came up with maybe a few years ago, is taking a spoon just to carve out where I want the colors to meet. Because I have hooded eyelids, it's harder to create a cut crease look. In the many videos that I've watched about hooded eyes and doing cut creases, the recommendation is to always go just above your actual crease. You'll notice that I keep looking to my left. I'm actually watching a movie as I'm doing my makeup. Not only is the movie keeping me entertained, it's also a timer that I use, a trick that I use when I'm getting ready. So right when I'm starting my makeup, I'll throw on a movie. That way I know exactly how much time has passed. I don't use my phones as a timer simply because they're either charging or, for example, for this video, I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro Max to film. And also my phone is a distraction. I would be on TikTok just loafing. Again, I'm taking Stuck On You eye primer and I'm just going to map out where I want the colors to meet. You can see here where I opted to use the spoon instead of freehanding it just to be safe. But if you'll notice that I have kind of like a double hood situation going on here, and I can always just go back in with those same colors that I used previous to fix any mistakes. Once I'm happy with the placement of where the cut crease will be, I'll fill in the bottom portion of my eyelid with the primer. Now I'm going back in with 10% off just to fix any mistakes. I was not lying to y'all when I said I was using mostly James Charles palette. Now I'm going in with Halloween for the bottom of my lid. Now I'm taking my flat brush by Morphe and applying Halloween, doing a packing motion. here I'm just taking a look to see if I like it, and you can see by my face that I'm unsure. Here I'm taking a little mini palette that I got from Ipsy, and I decided to throw in a little sparkle. I decided that I wanted to give my cut crease a sparkle line. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't know what brush I was using to do this. I don't know what it's called, don't ask me. I'ma just call it a detailed brush. Now with the assistance of my spoon again, I'm taking the detailed brush and drawing a line where the colors meet. Once I found the perfect placement, I just go in freehand and apply the eyeshadow, being careful of fallout. And it's foundation time. So for this video, I use NYX Professional Makeup Can't Stop Won't Stop in the color Cappuccino. Now I know y'all thinking this foundation is probably a little bit too light, but I promise you it does work out. Typically foundation, when it goes on a little bit lighter, but eventually when it dries, it will match the skin tone, and you'll see that throughout the rest of this video. I've definitely been in situations where I've used a foundation that's way too dark, but what I've done is I've used a lighter foundation as a concealer and then have the darker foundation seem like I've made it into a contour. So I know this looks a little crazy, so now I'm going in with the She Glam foundation from Shein in the color Mahogany, and I'm just using that as a concealer. And I'm just making sure I blend it out as best as I can. Next, I'm taking my Sacha Buttercup and setting all the places where I placed that Mahogany foundation. You'll notice as the video goes on, the foundation actually starts to blend in with my natural skin tone, so it doesn't look as tan. So one of my last steps in completing my makeup is my lips. I'm going in with a lip liner. I don't know where the lip liner is from, but it is a brown lip liner. And now I'm just going in with my matte liquid lipstick from Shein called Haters. And here I felt like the lip was a little plain, so I went in with my Celeste matte liquid lipstick in the color Peanut Brittle, and I actually got this from the beauty supply store. I'm just dabbing the peanut brittle where my cupid's bow is and kind of creating like a heart shape and just mashing it together, trying not to get it all over the lip, just where I intended it to be. To amplify the look, I like to highlight my inner corner. So again, I'm going back with the James Charles palette and I'm using the color Ring Light. And to complete the look, I'm going to throw on some lashes. So this is the final look, you guys. Let me know in the comment section below how I did. Was this a win or was this a huge loss? I did try my best. Also leave some suggestions on how you do your cut crease and I will try my best to emulate that. But yeah, this is the final look. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
He told me throw it back